Welcome back to the show, everybody. There is a major public health threat for 44 million men and women over the age of 50 in the U.S., and it is osteoporosis and bone loss. Rachael Decker is here. She's from TOSH Healthy Bones Clinic. It's part of the Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. I think this is so interesting and serious. What is osteoporosis? Let's start there, Rachael.
Osteoporosis is essentially bone loss that occurs primarily with age and with certain other genetic factors. I brought these little models today, and if you can see them fairly well, this is normal bone. So you can see the outer part of the bone, which is the cortical part of the bone, is nice and thick, and it's nice and dense, the bone. That's the inside of the bone. And then this model here, the cortical bone on the outside is much thinner, and then it looks like Swiss cheese in the middle, so it's real porous. So this bone, the osteoporotic bone, is much more likely to fracture or to break.
Do you know if that's happening to your bones? Are there symptoms of osteoporosis?
No, that's one of the barriers and one of the problems is that there are no symptoms to osteoporosis essentially until you break a bone. So that's how many people find out that they have it, is they break a bone and then say, gee, that was strange that I fell and broke a bone. Why did that happen? And then you're diagnosed with osteoporosis.
Is there a genetic component to this?
There is. Certainly if you have a family member, especially a close relative like a parent or a sibling who has had a hip fracture or another type of compression fracture in your back, those are risk factors and you're more likely to have osteoporosis.
So, Rachael, studies say this is a major public health threat. Is it that serious?
Well, on its own, you would say it doesn't seem like it would be that serious, but the problem is that many people, millions of people, in fact, are breaking hips, and as the population gets older and people are living longer, more and more people are having these fractures during their lifetime or later in their lifetime, and then it's a huge public health threat because those people lose their independence, they lose their ability to walk normally, and unfortunately there's a huge risk of even passing away within a year after a hip fracture.
Are we talking about men and women? Does it affect them the same?
It affects women 4 times more frequently than men, but it still does affect men, and frankly, men tend to be the forgotten people with osteoporosis.
So if you're sitting at home saying this is absolutely in my family, this is something genetic that I will be battling, do you take a calcium supplement? What do you do?
Yeah, the best things you can do to prevent osteoporosis are getting plenty of weight-bearing exercise per week, and that would be anything that you're standing on your feet. So the elliptical counts, walking counts, jogging, hiking, skiing, any of those things count. Unfortunately, cycling and swimming, while they're great for your heart, they don't really count as weight-bearing exercise.
Let's talk about the TOSH Healthy Bones Clinic. If someone comes in, what do you do there?
We evaluate patients, first and foremost, evaluating them for risk factors, figuring out if they should be screened with a bone density test. Not everybody necessarily needs a bone density exam, but certainly anybody over the age of 50 who's had a fracture from something other than, say, a car accident, should really be screened, should have a bone density and be evaluated.
Rachel, do I not worry about this till I'm in my 50s, or should women and maybe men in their 30s and 40s think about it too?
Well, we reach our peak bone mass around the age of 28, so that's why it's so important for kids to get adequate exercise and calcium supplements, or not necessarily supplements, but calcium intake as they're growing up, so that we reach a good peak bone mass at 28, because from there it stays steady, and then we'll go down after we reach menopause or older age. So it's important from early age.
From day one.
From day one.
It's important to think about.
Absolutely.
If you have questions, everybody, TOSH Healthy Bone Clinic has the answer. Look at the screen right there, all the information. They're at the Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. That's their phone number. We can put this on our website. Go to goodforutah.com/GTU. Rachel, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Good information.